let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out because I know how y'all get. I know how you are. So I'm not advocating for people to stop reading. I'm not advocating for those that go to high school, those that get that are getting a higher education, such as college, 2-year college, 4-year college, to drop out. That's not what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I have to be truthful. And this is my truth. This is my life. This is my experience. I have to be truthful and say, when I stopped reading, I became wise. I became a wise man. I became this man that had full of wisdom. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I remember when I was in high school, right? Never forget it. I went to this white school. It was diverse. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of black people there, white people, Mexicans, Chinese, etc. Right? But it was still, predominantly a white school. We used to read a lot of books. You know what I'm saying? Books such as Lord of the Flies, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Scarlet Letter, poems such as the poet Edgar Allan Poe, the poem that he wrote, The Telltale Heart, The Raven, William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, the Iliad, Odyssey, Beowulf, and I could just go on, give you a laundry list of the books that it was mandatory for us to read in this high school that I went to. And a lot of that information that I, read later on in life was literally useless to me. Now, if I'm attending some type of function and a social gathering or something like that, and I wind up networking with someone, and that the way I can network with that person is I start talking about, European art and culture, etc. And I start naming the books and the books that I've read. My favorite poet, Edgar Allan Poe, at that time was, that's a way we can kind of relate. It's a good form of networking. Other than that, it's useless information. And that's the point that I'm making to you. You have a lot of people out here that are advocate readers. In particular, advocate readers of fictional books. Books that have stories that are irrelevant to real life. They can't use that information. There's no information to use because there's no knowledge there. So the reality of it is they're reading as a form of entertainment, not as a form to gain some type of knowledge and apply it to your life. So in other words, there are a few advocate readers that you may think that they're smart because they said, I read 500 books. I read every day. I read a book every week. Yeah, but what kind of books are you reading? Is the question. And then you realize that these people that you may have thought that was smart, once they start giving you the laundry list of the books that they read, you'll be like, oh man, they just dummies. So you have a lot of people that read, but they're just dummies. The reality of it is when you read, you're supposed to know what you're reading. This is where the wisdom comes in. And this is the reason why I had to stop. Because I've been reading all my life. But I never understood what I read. That's where wisdom comes in. I never knew how to apply the knowledge that I received through books. That's where wisdom comes in. And wisdom can't necessarily be taught through books. But wisdom can be taught through experience. Wisdom can be taught from one elder down to the youth. We're so used to being Europeanized to the point where we fail to forget about our African culture. We fail to forget that we're of African descent, and that our elders passed down the knowledge, wisdom, to us orally. Most of it wasn't written in books. Let me ask you a question. I know y'all not feeling me. I know it. I know y'all not. Some of y'all are not feeling me. I know it. I know it. But I'm gonna go further so you can get a better understanding of what I'm saying. Let me ask you a question. Do animals need to read books? Like, does a monkey know how? A monkey, does he have to read a book in order to know how to swing through vines and eat particular nuts, different plants, what to eat and what not to eat? Does he have to read a book in order to know these things? Does a bird need to read a book in order to know how to fly? Does a shark need to read a book in order to know how to swim and hunt for its prey? Does an ant need to read a book on building an anthill? That's a sophisticated, complex structure, a mound that's similar to, we can go as far as to say, like a step pyramid. This is a highly intelligent insect. And it's thousands upon thousands of them. And they work together. So my question is, we as human beings supposed to be highly intelligent. We're on top when it comes to animals, insects, birds, fish. I'm trying to understand, how is it that we're so intelligent, but we can't manage to grow our own food to survive in an environment that animals have survived for thousands upon thousands of years? Period. And I know some of y'all are gonna be smart Alex and say, what are you talking about, Langston? There's farmers that grow there. I'm talking about everyone. Do you not know that every animal hunts its own food? What do? And we call it modernization. This is the modernized way. What do? We go and get our food from a grocery store. Think about how unintelligent that is. You don't know where that food is coming from. I'm a vegetarian, so I'm gonna put myself on the line too. I don't know where those vegetables are coming from. Wouldn't it be the intelligent person to say, I'm gonna grow my own food and raise my own livestock? Well, you gotta ask yourself, okay, is it that we're not intelligent, or are we lazy? Or if not, both? I'm telling you that there are a lot of people out there that read books and they have no idea or clue of what they're reading. No understanding whatsoever. I was one of them. I was part of a cult called the Nuwaubian Nation. And I remember this book that the cult leader, as they may say, the master teacher called Dr. Malachi York, Amanumi Rakbata, Afurati Atum Reg. He put out a book called Man from Planet Risk. And he said that in that book that there was a city within the Earth's core called Shambhala and Agatar. And that there were beings called terrorists with the cone-shaped heads. The Dinacules, the Fluglerods, the Shaggies. All of these beings existed inside this inner city, inside the planet Earth, this inner city, located in the Earth's core, right? I believe it. I read it. And what I did is I went out and I recited or regurgitated everything that I read. That wasn't a smart man. A smart, or rather a wise man, would have questioned everything that was in that book. What do you mean there's an inner city inside the Earth's core? I thought the Earth's core was a certain temperature. So how can an inner city exist in the Earth's core? And these beings that you talk about, how do you know that these beings exist, Dr. Malachi York? Where did you get this information from? Who did you get this information from? And one would say, in his book, he said, Admiral Byrd went in the city, excuse me, in the planet Earth, in Antarctica, went in the planet Earth, and he talked about these beings. Okay, well, where's Admiral Byrd? Did he give a journal? Where's the factual, or rather evidence, to prove what you're saying in a book? This is what a wise man, a man of wisdom would say, and questions what he would ask. And I know most Nubians would say, well, you know, Dr. Melikazi York said, you can question me. You can question everything, even me, or I. That's what Dr. Melikazi York said. Right? But the thing of it is when you ask Dr. Melikazi York a question, along with the other Nubians, you know what they do? They'll answer you with the question, and that same question that they answer your question with, they'll answer their own question. So in other words, they never give you a answer to your question. They redirect you because they don't even know what they're talking about. Which brings me to another point. You think that subliminal messages and spells can be cast through television, movies. You don't think and lies can be shown through television, movies. You don't think that there are no lies being told and cast, spells being cast through books? I'll give you an example. Majority of African Americans out here that are killing one another because they don't believe in themselves. They think that they're nobodies. You want to know why? Because this Europeanized society has taught black people that we're nothing but slaves. So if you believe that you come from nothing, you don't have any type of value in life. And you don't realize that someone's stealing your culture from you. So the white people will tell you that white people built the pyramids. White people existed in Egypt. But a wise man will sit back and say, hold on. And they even put it in books, and they put it in movies, and they put it in commercials and TVs and advertisements. Hold on, I'm trying to understand it. So let me get this right. You lived there, that was your home, right? Correct? Okay, good. All right, now the first thing is, when I go to Europe, I don't see any pyramids. So that's your original home. You supposedly migrated here. I don't see any remnants of Egypt in your home. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Why are you desecrating your own house? Meaning, when you go to Egypt, the Eastern Arabs, or Western Arabs, as well as white people, Europeans, have desecrated busts, statues of Egyptian deities, chopped off noses. Why are you messing up your own home? Another question. If it's your home, and these are your ancestors, why are you desecrating their grave? By digging them up, changing their names, and putting them in your museums. So I'll give you an example, because some of y'all may not understand what I mean by changing their names. For example, Asar. European to come in there, desecrate the grave, take Asar out, the sarcophagus that is, put it in a European museum, and name Asar Osiris. So let me get this right. I'm a wise man. Egyptos is a Greek name. So you mean to tell me Africa's predominantly black? There's two cities, Sudan and Nubia, that's right close to Egypt, and they have the same like pyramids, same somewhat civilization, and they are all black. But this one place called Egypt, which was a Greek name, not an African name, this one place where we all know that two Europeans invaded. Alexander, meaning, and they had the Alexandria era, and Ptolemy, which they had the Potomac era, invaded that area. But y'all are from there? Why would y'all invade some place that y'all are from? I don't get it. And y'all are the only white people in Egypt, and y'all don't like black people. And Sudan and Nubia is right there. And the civilization is so similar to Egypt. And Timbuktu is right up the street. And that's black. This is what a wise man would do with wisdom. He would put down his books and he would sit down and dissect the lies. And sit down and say, yeah, I don't need that information. I don't need to read that book. This is fictional. I can't apply this knowledge. There's nothing there. This is what wise men do. I'm taking heed. I'm gonna pick the books back up. But I had to sit down and gain that wisdom. So when I pick up another book, I'll be able to apply the knowledge that I read. In other words, I'll know what I'm reading and how beneficial it can be to my life. My name is Langston 292. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.